This is Trophy, Leviathan's Bridge Part 2. We've already recapped off mic, so I'm not going to do it here. But I do want to just remind you all that by the end of this, you do still have to meet your burdens, and so be mindful of that. I know that, Berwin, you have a lot of hunt tokens right now, so you shouldn't have any trouble at all. But everyone else, I don't know. I'm sure you all can scrape up enough treasure at the last minute if you need to. Just something to be mindful of. I'll remind you as well that you're trying to find Seeker's Rest, which is this floating goblin city. You believe that there is a temple at the top of it, at the top of this like floating mangrove city, and that there are treasures to be plundered in said temple. I think we just will start with all of you back in the water. You did manage to get your boat back, and you don't have Alina. It's a little unclear what time of day it is because the tree coverage is starting and the marsh cradle is starting to get really thick and starting to just kind of diffuse the light into a kind of gray. But it's hot, it's humid. I want to check in on Berwin and Cassian, who are starting to have sensitivities toward one another. What is that like, Berwin?
I think Berwin is, as time has sort of progressed and as we've sort of been wondering what happened to Alina, his patience is becoming thinner and thinner in a way that's probably a little more characteristic of someone like Cassian. Um, Whereas Berwin is typically tolerable or tolerates Alina and others and their kind of like eccentricities or what have you. I think his he's sort of pacing around, just kind of like if he had brows to furrow, they would be furrowed. And I think he keeps flexing the hand. What hand is it that you lost? Your left or your right?
I think it was the right.
He keeps flexing his right hand, almost sometimes marveling at it, as if like it's strange to feel that sensation of being able to flex it again, even though he's never lost it.
Cassian?
Cassian's like he trained in the King's Guard. He's spent a lot of time out in nature. He's good with athletics. His proprioception, his sense of where his body begins and ends, is starting to break down, and he'll find himself reaching for something like he could reach it, even though it's an extra foot or two beyond his arm. And I look down, and it's almost like a moment of confusion. Why he should be able to stretch that far?
Very good. Torum, I'm curious how you're feeling about the events of last night.
Very, very conflicted. Definitely, there's a lot of guilt given that Torm has always been loyal to the group, but there is no way to frame this that isn't a betrayal. And yet, there's this thing that's been burning in his mind for longer than he can remember, and it feels like he can almost reach out and touch it now. He's so close, and that justifies almost anything, or not justifies it, but he knows there's no way he can deny that impulse.
I'll remind you all that your set goal is to locate the drifting mangrove city of Seeker's Rest. You find a floating mangrove tree, not a city, just a single tree. It catches your attention because there's a small golden monkey sitting in its upper branches. One of the first animals you've seen in a while that wasn't just bugs or crabs dragging away rotting meat or giant fish. And maybe the thing that catches your attention even more is the fact that the golden monkey, it's playing with something shiny. What little bit of light there is, this diffuse light, it's glimmering off something that the monkey is tossing and at one point drops, but it's very nimble and quick and catches it again and scampers back up the tree. You're not quite near it enough to see what it is, but and you could totally just ignore this, obviously. But I'm curious what you all do.
When you say it's golden, is it like
It's just a gold furred monkey. It's not
right, right. It's not like
yeah,
yeah, it's
just a yellow monkey.
Um, Question. So, where we're at in the uh sort of wildlife that we're seeing, it feels very like foreign to us, right? It doesn't feel like things that we're familiar with.
Um, I would say that's true. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely you're in a different part of the world, right?
Okay. So what I would like to do then, because I do have to meet my burdens at some point. So I'm wondering if this monkey and taking it and whatever it's got in his hand would be enough to sort of fulfill that.
Meeting your burdens.
Or at least like adding into my treasure to maybe sell to someone back at
Oh,
camp.
I mean, I don't know about the monkey, but certainly whatever he's holding might be of some value.
Okay. All right. So then I'm gonna try and uh rubber stretch my arm to just sort of snatch it out of his hand.
Interesting. I like that. I think that's a good plan. That would allow you to do it without the boat having to get too close to the tree, I guess. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. What's everyone else doing during this time?
I can't are we after the temple just because we think there might be in it, or do we have a specific goal there?
You're just you're if I let me recall the introduction to the thing. Priceless scriptures and artifacts of advanced civilization uh, are could be found there possibly. Yeah, you're just going to like try to get to this temple and rob it.
If, especially with the mention of advanced civilization, I would like to take at some of the trees we're passing, that floating mangrove tree as we get nearer. Maybe these aren't natural. Maybe this is some sort of construction that is beyond what we are aware of.
Yeah, I mean you haven't reached the city yet, obviously of Seeker's Rest, but clarify what you're doing. Like, so what are you trying to find out about the tree? This single mangrove tree that the monkey is in.
I'm versed in plants, and maybe this isn't a plant that should be here. Maybe this is some sort of
Oh,
advanced piece of
I like that.
magic.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, go ahead and make a hunt roll while Berwin is readying his ritual.
All right, and drawing on plants for second die.
Sure.
That's two sixes.
Nice. Take a hunt token. No, there's nothing special about the trees being here. I mean, there are just floating mangrove trees, and you have started to see them with some frequency. And allegedly, Seeker's Rest is made up of them, big giant ones, right? But you have your token. What are you doing in the meantime, Torum?
I think Torum is almost making a show of diligently trying to find the way. You know, he's aware of this monkey, but he's not. I don't think he's necessarily aware that Berwin is planning to steal from it. But yeah, I think he's really just trying to discern the path through the mangroves to look for any indication that there was something constructed, something, like is there a ruined path or some
Hmm.
indication that this was once a way somewhere. Um,
You are certainly in pursuit of your goals here. Go ahead and make a hunt roll.
I'm going to claim vigilance as
Mm,
a
do you have something else that might be applicable that like deals with navigation?
mm, no. I don't believe so, unless I have some equipment.
Yeah,
I do have a
equipment.
spyglass.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'm looking in the distance.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right, so on to that's Snake Eyes, just to be opposite of Cassian. So I have double ones. I lose all my tokens.
Ah, great. Well, the situation is getting really
I didn't
interesting
have
now.
any.
Torum, you're preparing your magic. Berwin, Cassian, you're looking at tree roots. Torum is getting further and further onto the prow of the boat with his spyglass. Torum, something catches your eyes in the water, causing you to look down very quickly, and you see that there's something wriggling down there. It's not water moving, it's something wriggling underneath. And the suddenness of looking and seeing that and being startled causes you to fall right into the water. Splash. And you are now being swarmed by dozens, possibly hundreds of indigo colored snakes. What do you do?
I think in desperation, I don't think Torum is necessarily a great swimmer. I think just desperately trying to climb out. There's no way to fight these off. There's no way to outrun them. There's no way to like they can
Escape is
wriggle
all you
into
can
any
do. Yeah.
space. Yeah, right. So all I can do is get out of the water.
This is going to be a risk roll. Obviously, you can take help from the others if you need it, but go ahead and guide us through the risk roll as ever with.
Okay, so I'm going to take one die for the attempt.
Well, back up. We got to
One.
do what could go wrong.
Oh yeah, what could go wrong? Uh, let's see what Bowen and
What could
Cassian
go
think.
wrong is I think the most obvious is that they pull you under.
Yeah, I've got a real specific thing that could go wrong here. These snakes are highly venomous and you will die.
That's that's a consequence.
These snakes are not snakes at all, and one of them is going to burrow under your skin to be a problem later.
Oh,
Mm.
great. All great ideas. Let's go ahead and now pick up dice, please.
Okay, so I get one light die for the attempt.
Mhm.
One die if I have a skill or piece of equipment.
Or no, no, you get one light die if you have skill or piece of equipment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking of hunt roll. I have the skill of speed and skills of speed and protection.
I'll take
I
that.
feel like between those two, there's something there. And then I would get another die if I accept a devil's bargain. Does anyone have a devil's bargain for me? I can imagine what one might be.
You drop the beloved that you've been holding in your hand this whole time since last night.
I'm gonna say no matter what, the uh one of the snakes bites off the finger that holds Lady Peril's ring.
Two terrible devil's bargains. What has Ben got, if you have anything, Ben?
I'm just going to modify my original one, eggs under the skin.
Yeah, yeah. I thought someone was going to go with something like that. I love the idea that Torum drops the the new token he just got, the Blue Rose token.
That would be pretty ironic given everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
Okay, you have two light dice. You have to take a dark die because of the nature of this situation. I think your scalded lungs aren't helping you with being underwater either. And so I'm going to
Mm.
put you on an extra dark die as well. So you got two light, two dark.
Two and two.
2 and 2.
That's a 6 dark.
You succeed completely. However, your ruin does go up. Presumably from snake bites or taking in water. Just describe what happens.
Yeah, it's almost before the other two are aware. Torum has grabbed a hand onto the prow of the boat again and is trying to haul himself up. And as they rush over to help him get out of the water, haul him up, these snakes are kind of clinging on, but there's a point at which they drop off. They obviously don't like being out of the water. And it's only once Torum is onto the dry part of the boat, kind of, or probably just Cassian since Bowen's busy, kind of has to hold on to him as he attempts to dive back into the water again.
It's
Interesting.
gone, Torum. Whatever it is, it's gone.
No, no, I must find it.
You'll lose your life in the doing. Let it go.
And I think I'm trying to figure out if there's anything I can do to get rid of these damn snakes. Um, are the snakes kind of clustering at the top of the water, or can they?
I will
Like,
tell you that this part of the Marshal's Cradle is infested with these things. They're all over the place.
Hmm. But they're not like I could dive beneath where they like being or anything like that.
Oh, you could attempt it.
I think maybe that's what I do is I'm going to try and get back into the water to
This is
retrieve the
so
token.
dangerous. Cassian tries to stop you. Berwin, what are you doing right now? I know you had a plan, but it's been interrupted momentarily here.
Wanted my monkey, but yes, sort of seeing this, and I think it's yeah, I think instead he'll try to use his rubber arm to like wrap around Torum to sort of secure him in, because I think there's a sort of mania, madness sort of happening that's overcome coming Torum, and he's trying to keep him contained.
This feels like a contest role between Torum and the other two characters.
Me
Does,
too.
yeah.
Does Torum get in or not? Torum, I'll even help with the stakes here. Torum, if you win, I'll let you dive in and get the thing. No other roles needed. Any ruin you take,
Man.
of course, will represent snake bites.
Yeah, yeah, and or just drowning.
Yeah. Are we in, or are we just gonna let Torum
I,
do it?
I'm in.
Let's go through the text of the contest roll. I don't even know if we have the text anywhere. Um, oh yeah, here we do. All right. When treasure hunters act against each other, compete, or want to inflict harm on each other, first agree what's at stake. Basically, does Torum dive into the water or not? I think it's essentially what the deal is. Bearing in mind those stakes, you let that guide how much you're wagering here. You get one light die if your occupation or background gives you an advantage. You only get one light die, even if multiple skills would apply. Cassian, Berwin, you want to make a case for your skills? Berwin, I like you already had your kind of rubber arms ready to go. I think you can take your light die from that.
Cool.
Cassian, do you have anything?
I'm trained in combat as a Kingsguard.
Fantastic. You're both at one light die. Torum, where's your
I have
first light?
speed. I can just
Fantastic.
try and get in before they can stop me.
Absolutely. You each get one light die for each point of ruin you currently have. Let's take a look at that. Cassian, you have 4 ruins, so that puts you at 5 light. Torum, you also have 4 ruin, that puts you at 5 light. Berwin, you're at 4 light. Let's keep going. All right. You take one dark die if the contest is inherently dangerous. I don't think it is for Cassian and Berwyn. I think it is for you, Torum. So it's Cassian 5 light, Berwyn 4 light, Torum 5 light, 1 dark. And then you take as many additional dark dice as you are willing to risk. Once you know how many dice you're going to do, enter it into the contest roller and give me a thumbs up. Do not hit enter yet.
Can I get a reminder of, is it only the dark dice that
Uh,
cause your ruin to go up, or is it
yes,
anything?
if a dark die has a 1, your ruin goes
Yeah.
up. You're looking for sixes, whoever gets the most sixes, and you're up against 2 people.
This could go so wrong.
I will tell you
Okay.
this that your token is lost forever if you don't win.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready to go.
We're all set.
Roll. Berwyn got 3 sixes. Cassian got 1. I don't know who guest is. I assume that's Rob.
Sorry, that's me. Yeah.
Got
It didn't prompt me
2.
to change my name.
And your ruin goes up as well, Torum. Um, but Berwyn, you win. Describe how you help, how you keep Torum on the boat.
Berwyn has been focusing on trying to like manifest his elasticity, and has been sort of watching the monkey in the tree and sort of like fiddling with whatever little trinket it has in its hand. And I think that that sort of impatience washes over him, hearing the kerfuffle happening at the head of the boat, hearing Kazian and Torum go back and forth about it. And I think there's a moment where Torum might be about to jump, and Kazian is maybe protesting, and Berwyn just kind of huffs, and that Kazian-esque impatience sort of washes over him again, and he just sort of reaches out his arm and snatches, wraps around Torm and just yanks him back with all the force that he can, just sort of laying him flat on his back.
And I think we just get that image of the glitter of the token descending into the murk until a point where you can no longer see it, and Torum just lets out a wail of anguish.
I don't think the others even know what this is that you're so
Right? Yeah.
put out by.
I think the wail of anguish too scares off the monkey, and it takes the glittering thing with it.
Yeah, yeah. I think the monkeys probably had enough entertainment here.
And Berwyn looks back and sees her scurrying off and turns back down to Torm and says, "What's the matter with you?"
You. Why did you do it? Why did you stop me?
Stopped you from killing yourself?
I I had it.
Had what?
You would not understand, Bowen.
And by all means, go fishing for whatever it is after this snake-infested marsh.
Don't encourage him. What was it?
A token
A bloody token.
of my lady. I'm sundered from her.
And you wouldn't be made less so by being eaten by snakes. Let it go. You can always find another token.
What would you know of it, Cassian?
Nothing.
Leave me.
Whatever it is, it's not worth your life.
Burns become quiet when he says "my ladies," and he's sort of thinking about not just Laura, but also Magda and the women that he's left behind. And he gets somber and his arm reconstitutes. He just sort of extends it out to Torum to like help him back up to his feet.
I think Torum just shrugs it off and like almost crawls into the rear of the boat to just wallow and sulk.
I apologize. I I know what I know what it is to have something and lose it. Many things, in
So
fact.
close.
We must forge ahead.
You journey for a few more hours in the marsh cradle, under gray clouds, through the thick humidity. You're managing to find your way closer to Seeker's Rest. You feel like you're going in the right direction. Maybe there are things you find in the environment. Maybe there are portents. But I would like for each of you to say one thing that lets you know that you're on the right path, that you've nearly reached the city of Seeker's Rest.
I think we pass beneath two mangroves that have grown together over
Like an
the
arch.
yeah, but when you look closer, it's become overgrown over the years since, but you can kind of see that it was carved and forced into this form like it is a deliberate not horticultural, but like a apiary on a grand scale, or once was.
There are small bits of uh, either half hidden on purpose or just half obscured by moss of goblin graffiti. Little
Hmm.
warnings, maybe jokes. Nothing means anything to us.
There is the remnants of a very large statue sort of coming up through the surface of the water. Um, we see that it has sort of this humanoid body, but it's got this sort of sneering face, almost monkey-like, these kind of sharp, smiling teeth, and it has some of that similar graffiti all over it as well.
You haven't quite reached Seeker's Rest yet, but you have started to reach more signs of civilization, or maybe a recent, not an active civilization, but at least settlement. A lot of collapsed huts, um, little villages that have sunk into the water over time. You come across one hut on a little embankment, kind of half submerged in soft mud. That in itself wouldn't be interesting at all. What is interesting, perhaps, is that there's a goat. There's a goat on the roof of this little hut. You're close enough to where you can see that its eyes are perfectly milky white, as if it's blind, but it's looking at you. And as your little boat drifts near, as the current kind of takes you closer to it, the boat or the goat bleats out a single word. Lady! Lady!
Torum's head. Torum had been ignoring everything that was going on, but as he hears that word, his head snaps up and looks directly at this goat.
The goat meets your gaze. And maybe it's just a trick of the light, maybe not. But its milky white eyes seem to go blue. I
Think who's kind of in control of the boat at this point?
think you all just take turns rowing periodically.
I mean, certainly Torum has not been taking a turn
Yeah.
recently, but I think he tries to seize the oar from whoever is rowing so he can steer toward this goat.
I think
Sit back, Torum.
No, we must. Did you hear?
Did I hear the obvious trap of the goat repeating the thing it heard you shout? Yes, I did.
How could it have heard me? That was far, far behind us.
That would.
Look,
Sorry, go ahead.
there are a great many beasts who stalk these lands. Who knows what they're capable of? Clearly, this one has very large ears.
We have, we have to see what it means. Trap or no, I cannot ignore it. If you will not accompany me, then consider this association sundered.
Now, Torum, let's not be melodramatic.
I will say that the water is shallow enough, Torm, to where if you wanted to just get out of the boat, you could slosh your way
Oh yeah,
over.
if they're not going to help me, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Cassian will look over at Berwin just kind of silently. Just let's just go with it for now. And he'll say, very well, but give it a wide berth. We don't know what it's after.
We don't have an anchor for the boat, though. I just fear theft or being taken away from us again. But I will come, I guess. And Torm will, not Torm, Berwin will get out of the boat and follow.
Are all three of you going to investigate?
Yes, I'm going to use my rope to tie the boat to myself. I have 60 feet of rope.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm into that.
Berwin's going to take one of the oars just, to be safe.
I think Torum is just striding through the murk toward this goat and almost like reaching a hand toward it. And he says loud enough for the goat to hear, but obviously not shouting with the intention that the other two maybe don't hear him. Say, Lady Peril sent you.
As you stare into the goat's milky blue eyes, and it continues bleating its single word, you find yourself overcome by intense sorrow, Torum. Not even like just sadness, like horrible, wrenching melancholy. What is it that you are thinking about as you stare into the goat's eyes?
I think he's thinking that the goat is maybe it was sent by Lady Peril, but it's to mock him for losing his path to losing the token, losing any hope of ever finding her again. And the goat is kind of her message to him. Not a guide, but
Indeed.
a
An
mockery.
omen. Yeah. As you're looking up at the goat who's on this little roof, and you're overcome by these intense feelings of sorrow, you have to take a risk roll to avoid the only thing that can go wrong here, which is you just lie down in the water and end it all. Tell me if you have any skills or equipment that will help you resist this ensorcelment.
I wonder if Lady Peril's ring, which helps with illusions, might give me. I don't know if
Oh,
this is an
perfect.
illusion, but
No, that's a good,
if it kind of
yeah.
gives me some indication of the truth of
I like that,
his
and I'll even let
situation.
it obviate the dark die I was going to put on this. So you've got one light. If you wish to take devil's bargains, you certainly can.
Let's hear some, yeah. And I will see. Do I need to ask what can go wrong? Or, oh, that you said it's just like, I will just give in to despair and
It'll
lie
be
down.
Artax and the Swamp of Sadness moment is what we'll
Yes.
get. Yeah.
You get a goat.
I don't know if I could
Yeah,
beat that. I don't know if I could beat
I'll
that.
second that.
I don't know that I really want a goat.
I'll give you another one then. No matter what, no matter what, you will be burdened with the knowledge that you disappointed Lady Peril.
That's going to hurt. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. I don't know if that's going to translate into a condition or something, but yeah, I think it feels
We'll see how it
appropriate.
goes. You have two light dice. Go ahead and roll.
6 light.
Tell me how you resist this goat's charms.
I think it's Lady Peril's ring. There's something that tells him some feeling he gets from that. It's almost like all of the color is drained out of the world except for the blue of the gem in this ring. And just that one spark of color is what holds him anchored to the world and not giving into despair. I don't want to say whether it's like reveal what truth it's revealing about the goat, but I'll leave that ambiguous. But
The goat, once you all get close enough, it reacts in the way an animal would, and it kind of hops off the roof and runs away into the back into the tree line behind the little collapsed house. But you can get inside the little collapsed house now that you're here, if you wish. What do you all do?
I think Torin just sits down on the ground to think.
Hmm.
Are you satisfied?
Torin just ignores you.
At some point, people will start believing me before they check for themselves. He's just going to walk inside.
Yeah, you have to kind of like worm your way inside because the doorway is only it's kind of half submerged. Um, I don't even need a hunt roll. It's a fairly small little shack, and it's mostly just waterlogged, wrecked furniture. But there is one thing that stands out in here: a book bound in faded green leather with gold trim. The title is Eternal Glory. It's a book of legendary heroes and their deeds, and it's worth 1 gold.
I will take that.
There's nothing else to find here. You all can make your way back to the boat.
Come along, Torum.
You heard it, Berwin. The goat
Yes.
spoke.
Yes, but when I heard the goat speak, he kind of pats him on the shoulder. There, there.
You're only on the water for about another hour or so before you go through what is actually like a tunnel formed from these arched mangroves. And when it spits you out, you're in the middle of a wide open expanse of the marsh cradle. It almost looks like a huge lake or even like the ocean. And in the distance, you see, emerging from the mist, an island formed entirely from mangroves, a wall of interwoven roots and branches rising from the sea. Its upper tiers vanish into the fog. Rope ladders and driftwood walkways jut out in every direction. Glowing lanterns and tent flaps hang throughout the roots and branches, while a maze of tunnels and chambers within conceal the true density of the city. Small coracles and heavy canoes line the piers, where a few fishing poles are tended by goblin folk and others who make their home here. You have arrived at Seeker's Rest. Let's take a 5-minute break. You can begin to navigate your boat close to Seeker's Rest. You're not quite there yet when you hear someone in another little boat calling over to you from their boat. Manfolk! Manfolk! There is a goblin in this little boat. He has a braided gray goatee. He looks old, but otherwise, like a goblin. The batwing ears, row of razor teeth, big bulging eyes, but his little goatee. And he says, "Manfolk, come here. Let me show you something special."
Berwin sort of leans into Cassian and says, "It's nice to be called manfolk. Again, it's been so long."
You are manfolk, Berman. What kind of like relationship do manfolk and goblins have in general?
This is not in the world of trophy goblins. Have not, or maybe were never, a sort of like raiding horde species. They're more of a spiritual, shamanistic kind of species, I guess.
So we'd have no reason to immediately
No,
assume.
not at all. No.
Okay. Then start steering the boat toward him.
He's kind of waving you over, and then when he sees you, Berwin, he goes, "Oh, oh, you're uglier than goblin folk."
Well, that was fleeting.
No offense, of course. I've known many, many fine man folk with far, far, far more troubling physical maladies than yours. I am
You're a terrible
Mazrudin.
liar.
Yes, I am. I am a terrible liar, it is true. But I am an exceptionally faithful person.
Who do we have the pleasure of speaking to?
I am Mazrudin, and I am the lone follower of one of your saints, one of your beloved sisters.
Beloved.
Beloved sisters. Little known saint, yes, it's true. She of the 8 arms, I call her.
8.
Oh, yes. And at this point, an octopus jumps out of the water and lands in the boat and gives over a shrimp to Mazrudin. And he says, "Ah, there we are." And he pops the shrimp into his mouth, and the octopus dives back into the water. You see all those people there along the piers with their fishing poles and their nets? They're wasting their time. They have but to give up alms to she of the 8 arms, who will send you a beautifully trained little octopus like my fellow here to bring the fish to you. Much better, yes?
That does seem quite a bit more efficient. Which sister are you speaking of?
And he says, well, I'd be happy to tell you more, of course, if you wish to give an offering to the church of she of the 8 arms. You are here in her chapel.
He'll lean over to Berwin. Can we tell him we gave them Alina?
We gave her one of our companions.
You have made a human sacrifice to she of the 8 arms?
Well, we're not entirely sure if she's human.
And they call goblin folk uncivilized. What dark times we live in. You do
she's
not bring
yet
darkness
lives.
to Seeker's Rest, do you?
No, our former compatriot still lives. She is more devout than us, and I'm sure she will provide much worship to this sister as she does all of them.
Yes, worship is well enough. But worship does not buy me ale at the inn, if you take my meaning. We priests need offerings, donations.
Silver and gold.
Well, I hate to. Yes.
We could perhaps
mentioned-
come. Oh, apologies. Go on.
You mentioned ale.
Oh, yes, much fine ale to be found in Seeker's Rest.
We're a bit cash low, but perhaps a barter of some kind might be amenable.
All right.
And Berwin looks to the others. What do we have?
I have a glass bottle of beast-bitten blood that I've been holding on to since way back when. Lord Galdrin's blood, in fact.
Musruden says, what is this now? Tell me the story. This is no doubt some sort of magic decoction.
The blood of a wolf man, beast-bitten. Quite powerful.
Oh. Musruden used to be a herder of goats.
Then it will be an offering to her to pour it out and let it seep into the water where it will be lost forever.
Yes.
Perhaps I can also entice you with the vengeful skull of a goat man. His name was Nevin, a good fellow, and he sort of pulls out the sort of goat-horned humanoid skull.
A herder of goats, you say? Did your goats speak?
What?
We
I don't
encountered
know
a-
where you come from, manfolk, but goats do not speak. They are rather stupid creatures.
This one perhaps had a bleat that sounded like the word lady.
Oh, yes, I have heard of such creatures. We call them marsh goats. Not the most creative or original name. They are noteworthy in that, well, they're difficult to keep, marsh goats. They tend to want to drown themselves.
I can't imagine why.
Oh, look. a blessing from Our Lady. And an octopus dives into your boat and drops off a couple of wriggling shrimp.
Everyone's gonna take one and eat it. It's good enough for the goblin. It's good enough for him.
Our Lady of the Eight-Legged Arms always provides, he says as he takes the skull and the and the blood.
It's fine shrimp, quite juicy, briny.
Yes. Well,
You were going to tell us more about this sister.
yes. I shall tell you a story. Once there was a woman, a manfolk woman, who fell in love with an octopus.
Oh,
And unfortunately, they could not consummate their feelings for one another because they're different species. And so this woman prayed and prayed to the gods. And the gods turned her into an octopus.
Seems like a
I,
bit of
bel
a strange answer to the prayer.
Well,
I believe I once saw a painting
of
of
anything in
this
particular?
story.
Oh, yes, because of course you would have. It is a well-known legend. And now there are those of us, we are few in number, but there are those of us who even to this day worship the lady of the eight-legged eight arms, our eight-armed lady.
As he's talking, I would like to spend a hunt token to have this octopus bring me back something nice.
Sure. The octopus brings you back. Roll a light and a dark die for me.
All right. 6 dark, 2 light.
Um, the octopus, after listening to his bullshit stories for a time, the octopus jumps into your boat again and deposits in your hand what appears to be a shrunken head. And Mazrudin sort of like is looking from his boat into your boat, kind of like warily. And he says, "Oh, that is unusual indeed.
Yes,
An
it's
omen, perhaps."
of what? Do you understand the cultural significance of this? And he'll show it to him.
And his eyes widen, and he says, "Oh, it is time to go. Perhaps Mazrudin will see you in the village, in the city.
But yes, about my head.
Blessings of the eight-armed lady upon you." And he begins paddling away back closer to Seeker's Rest.
can we tell if it's human or goblin?
It's very, very shrunken. I would say it is probably human though, because even shrunken, it's a little bigger than a goblin head would be, or it seems like it would be a person. It
Far too
spits
big.
it spits up water. It begins working its jaw.
What do you have there, Bowen?
I thought it was a shrunken head, and it still appears to be quite small, but it seems to be gasping.
It's It's whispering something, but you'll have to put it really close to your ear, Berwin, to hear what it's saying.
Yeah, I'll put it up to my ear hole.
I have a great thirst, sir. A great thirst.
Or
Something stronger than marsh water.
indeed. I'm going to, this might be very stupid, but we love stupid around here, right? I'm going to pull out one of my silvery health potions and I'll pop the cork and I'm going to feed it to it.
Erase the potion. It does not just dribble out of the neck stump like you would expect. It seems to go somewhere. Indeed, it coughed up water, and it has no body. It drinks the silvery potion, and the potion is dribbling down its little shrunken mouth. There are little silver rivulets running through its sort of like wrinkled flesh. And it and I would say it gets its color back a little bit. Instead of being blackened, a blackened husk-like thing, the skin smooths out ever so slightly and takes on a much healthier gray color, I would say. It still has no eyes, and it's just got bits of stringy hair. But it now speaks freely. Ah, after all these many years, I am free.
Do you have a name?
I do not remember it, but I know my purpose. My
Which is,
purpose was to find the temple. The temple atop Seeker's Rest. And I did find it.
and then what happened?
My memory perhaps could be jogged with a taste of whiskey or rum, if you have it. I do love rum.
Don't believe either of us have any rum on us, but there is seems to be a tavern of sorts in deeper into the marsh. Perhaps we could accommodate there.
Yes, yes. You are a kind, kind soul. If you could just unbind my arms and legs, please, that would be very helpful to me. And perhaps take off this blindfold from my eyes.
I have some unfortunate news for you.
Yes?
Well, you don't have any of those things anymore.
What do you mean? Don't be preposterous. There is a blindfold over my eyes, and my arms and legs are bound.
Do you feel them right now?
Oh, yes, yes, very much so. But I cannot move them.
Intriguing. Well, for the time being, I'm going to keep you a bit in the dark. It's been a long time and it's quite bright out anyway. But I will escort you and we will get you your rum and we will talk more about your history and your state.
Splendid, splendid. Very good, very good. Wine will do as well. I quite like wine.
Of course, who doesn't?
And whores. Will there be whores where we're going?
Goblin whores, presumably.
I wish to see nothing more of goblins.
Good
I don't think that'll be a
news.
problem for you, seeing more
Uh,
goblins
yes.
or anything.
Splendid. Splendid. I can tell already that we shall travel the world together, you and I.
Yes,
We shall see many sights, you and I.
I will, yes.
We shall gaze with our eyes across golden horizons.
Yes, vast golden
We shall
horizons.
plunder the lands of their gold and their women.
And some men too, why not?
Yes, why not?
Well, we should be going. I'm sure you're very tired. And I'm going to just sort of take up a little bit of rope and just sort of make him into a necklace, sort of braiding his like stringy hair into like a little bit piece of rope and just sort of make him into a medallion.
Fantastic. You have a set goal at Seeker's Rest, which is to earn acceptance as visitors to the city. I think as you get closer to Seeker's Rest, you start to see more of the life and activity of the city. You see a turtle shell coracle, newly repaired, being lowered into the water with a cheer by the goblins lowering it into the water as it floats this time. Yay! And then one of them jumps into the coracle and it immediately sinks, and they go, oh. You can smell the scent of grilling seafood, spices, seaweed. Music, melody played on reed pipes. A fisherman wrestling with a captured squid, a tug of war between land and sea. Come here, you tentacle bastard! And pulls, and the squid pulls, and the squid pulls the goblin in, and the goblin is wrestling atop the squid, trying to stab the shit out of it. And they go under, and who knows what happens. And you can pull your little boat right up into the pier. Some goblins will help you tie it off. What do you all do?
Where is this alehouse the goblin spoke of? You there. Where's the alehouse?
There's a young goblin that you call over to. She's feeding leftover scraps to a blue lobster. She's walking on a leash. And she turns to you and she says, she looks at you and she says, alehouse?
Tavern. Drinking establishment. Shebeen.
You'll want to go to the salt market at the center of the Grove City.
Where would I find that?
Her blue lobster has like walked up. I think you're like kind of in the boat, kind of like getting up onto the pier, and her blue lobster's kind of walked up when you're kind of like eye level to it, and it begins like kind of like tickling you with its long blue antenna, and she goes, "Oh, he likes you."
I think
Quite adorable.
Torm just ignores any sign of affection from the lobster.
A number of goblins, when you get out onto the pier, Torum, they like surround you, and they're all like, "Oh, look how big he is!"
Where
One of
may
them
I
walks up
find
to you and goes, "Pick me up, pick me up."
if I pick you up, will you direct me to the market?
Yes, yes, pick me up.
and I'll lift him and put him on my
He's
shoulders.
like, oh! And they're all
Which
like,
way?
and they'll point you in a direction. And now they're all kind of scrambling for a turn.
I'll just keep this one and follow the direction it's sending me.
Cassian, what are you doing right now?
I think Cassian will have rushed off to help that goblin trying to spear the squid.
Oh, okay. You can. I think I think he was successful, and he'll take the help with you to haul the squid carcass onto the pier.
It's refreshing to have such simple hunts and hunters here.
Nothing simple about giant squid.
Oh, is this? I suppose it is giant, relatively.
Well, it's rather big. It is a big squid, and you can haul it up. It's about the size of like a dog, right? And he says, "Ah, there we go. Well," and he goes in and he's like, "I don't care about the meat," and he slices open the flesh, the rubbery flesh, and there's a bunch of white brain goo that kind of spills out. He says, "You can have it if that's your thing. I want this." And he reaches into the cavity of the squid and pulls out the ink sac. And he says, "Very valuable squid ink." And he kind of wipes off the white goo. And he kind of turns back to you and introduces himself. And he says, "I'm Sundar.
Cassian.
Nice to meet you. Cassian, I'm an herbalist, a brewer of potent spiced mushroom teas and other decoctions. This will help a lot."
Perhaps I could assist you. I am well versed in plants and beasts.
Let us discuss it. I'm going back to the salt market even now.
So this ink is used for potion, not writing.
I'm sure it has all sorts of uses, but I intend to make it into something to drink. Squid ink is delicious.
I will follow.
What are you doing, Berwin?
I think he's just sort of watching in wonder as these goblins crowd around Torum. He looks back and sees Kazian sort of wrestling with this fisherman and the squid. And I think there's just like this, and maybe it's because he's also feeling it from like a residual piece from Kazian, but he's feeling this sort of almost mild tranquility being here. Uh, it's strange, and not just because he's got a shrunken head that's almost snoring on his chest right now.
The head snaps
Um,
you out of your reverie when he says, "Hurry, friend.
oh,
Ale, brothels.
yes,
Do you know
those
how long
words.
it's been since I've dipped my wick into a whore?"
No, and I don't know if that kind of colorful language is as acceptable as it was back in your day, but we will get you properly entertained in due time.
Where's everyone headed?
Well, if Torm is being carried slash carrying goblins to the market, I'll follow him to the market because presumably that's where the ale is.
Cassian's going to learn more about this brewer.
Who was also in the market.
Yep. So you're all heading in one direction. You're all heading in one direction, it seems.
Hmm.
I will tell you that as you kind of make your way through Seeker's Rest, your various guides will point out the haven, which is essentially everything above you. A dizzying assemblage of stairs, rope ladders, and footbridges decorate the mangrove roots. More inventive dwellings hang from the side of trees, while others are simple flaps over root burrows. Everything is made of woven fibers, woven fibers, salvaged textiles, and driftwood. And they must be reasonably accustomed to people, non-goblins, being here, because people will come out and look at you, but they don't like pay too much mind. They kind of go back to their business, right? And indeed, you might even see like every now and then another person, another manfolk, as they call you. Um, yeah, let's just paint the scene as you're kind of making your way through to reach the salt market. Inspired by chat, what do you see that makes you think, you know what? I'm done hunting treasure. Let's just retire in Seeker's Rest.
There is a shrine that is very much clearly dedicated to the old one of the forest, only this depiction has the bat ears and a more goblin-esque face, but it's the same religion at its core. He'd be at home here.
Goblin folk aren't. They're staring at Berwyn, but they're not. But it's the stare of curiosity and not disgust that he's used to back in manfolk villages, encampments. There's a curiosity that makes him feel less of a grotesque outcast and more of just sort of an oddity that these goblins seem more curious about and more interested about than they are frightened of.
I think we pass on the way to the salt market, we pass a group of goblins that are dancing with some, and there's, probably one banging on a drum and another playing a pipe or something. And there's something of it that brings to mind the dancing of the Fey court to Torm's mind. And he thinks maybe there's a touch of the Fey to these goblins, and that perhaps if Lady Peril's favor is denied to him, this is the next best thing.
Indeed, that music really kind of picks up as you get closer and closer to the salt market. This melody of reed pipes and syncopated trance-like percussion of goblins playing hollow wooden trunks, fish skin drums, shell and bone rattles. The increasing smell of grilled food and spices and seaweed. The salt market itself is a massive hollow at the center of the grove, tents surrounding an open pool of ocean. The tide swells below. Immense cone-shaped baskets hang submerged in this big pool in the center, where small fish and crustaceans are raised. There are aggressive fishmongers all around, pressing bargains for their various catches. You see gambling going on between goblins and men, goblins and goblins, men and men. And the smell of cook fires gets stronger and stronger, especially as the evening wears on. Sundar says, "So what do you think of it?"
It reminds me much of some parts of Fort Durin.
Oh, yes, yes, Fort Durin. I know of Fort Durin. Probably don't see too many goblins in Fort Durin.
Indeed, no.
Tell me of the forest that sits on Fort Durin's doorstep.
It is hard to describe its magnificence.
Magnificence. I've heard it wants to kill everyone.
Of course it does, yes.
Oh. Interesting. So you think that manfolk deserve to die?
Manfolk deserve death no more than anyone else.
We all deserve to die.
And deserve to live equally.
Interesting, interesting. You'll have to tell me more of your strange beliefs, Cassian.
I suspect it would be more familiar to you than you might think, and he'll kind of nod toward that shrine.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. And indeed, I think that the old man that they worship, this sort of version of the old man of the forest, is more of like a mangrove tree than like a oak or something, you know? It says, they are different from what most goblins worship.
And what do most goblins worship?
Most goblins worship coin, as you are about to discover.
Not so different from most manfolk.
And you reach a tent, and he says, including me. And he goes on the other side of the table in the tent and says, can I interest you in a mushroom tea?
Not just yet, but I will return.
Torum, your gaggle of hangers on are gone or disperse once you reach the salt market. What do you do?
I look for somewhere to get horribly drunk
There's lots of gambling and drinking
to
going
drown my
on.
sorrows.
There's plenty of gambling and drinking going on. No troubles there. What about you, Berwin?
Yeah, I think he's gonna follow Torum, and do some drinking. He and the head that I'm still trying to figure out a name for. Of
I need a drink. See if they have rum, friend.
course. Three rums. Torum, you enjoy rum, yes?
It's fine.
I have not felt the warmth of the sun for some minutes now. Perhaps it would be okay to expose my eyes to the light. Please remove my blindfold.
He sighs and takes out like a little small dagger. Actually, he'll look over to Torb and says, "Do you mind?" Sort of asking for like a small bladed weapon. Um, and
Look, if
he'll just sort of slice the sutures that are closing its eyes open and sort of gently tugging them out from the holes.
And he says, well, what's going on? I can't see anything.
Did you feel me pulling at your eyelids?
Yes, yes, you seem to be engaged in some sort of activity.
And he's just like sort of like just very quickly opening and shutting his eyelids in front of Torum, like trying to prove that he has no eyes.
What what is the matter here? Tell me what's going on.
You don't see anything, do you?
I do not.
He'll
does
sort of
he
stick
actually
his
have eyeballs or not so much?
No, they're just empty sockets.
he'll stick his fingertips into his sockets. You feel this now?
Not as such, no.
Uh, well, my fingers are in your eye sockets right now, where your eyeballs ought to be. They are not there anymore, you see. Furthermore, neither is the rest of your body.
The head is quiet for a moment. It says, yes, yes, it's all coming back to me now. It was the guardians in the temple that did it. I had heard the tales of the great temple in the heights of the mangrove trees of Seeker's Rest. I sought the temple, like so many explorers before me. I sought the temple to plunder it, to take its secrets and treasures, to make its mysteries my own. And they removed my eyes for my trespass.
The goblins.
Oh, if only I had tear ducts, I would be weeping.
Erwin will reach out to the barmaid. Make that 4 rums, please.
Yes, my nose still works. Pour the spirits into my mouth so that they may dribble onto the dock.
Yes, of course. Thank you. And he'll start pouring the 1 cup in.
It doesn't dribble down, though. It goes somewhere.
Yeah.
He drinks it. Ah. If I had eyes that could cry, I would weep. I would weep for what I have lost.
Of course. Here's the second one, love. I'll pour the 2nd cup of rum into him.
No more legs to help me stride across the world. No more hands to touch things with. Oh, no more eyes to gaze upon beautiful women. This is a terrible fate, would you not agree?
Perhaps if you had eyes, you could see what I am, and, well, terrible fates might be up for debate.
Worry not, sir, for I can still smell you.
There you go.
We all have our regrets.
Who's
3
that?
more drinks.
This is my compatriot, longtime compatriot, Torem. He is a magnificent specimen of strength, and virility, and discipline.
Torum, do not waste any time. Do not waste any time that you have remaining on this mortal coil.
Aye.
Lay with as many women as you can, Torum, while there's still time. You never know when you're going to wake up, quite suddenly coughing out water from your lungs, which apparently don't exist, and being told you've got no hands, no legs, no eyes.
Torem is something of a romantic, you see.
Oh, one of those types.
There are none finer with the blade, but it is his heart. I feel that weighs him down a bit.
I will keep my own counsel upon the state of my heart. Thank you, Berwin. Another drink.
See, heavy, heavy heart.
I suppose on the plus side, you could just tell me the ugly ones are beautiful, and I wouldn't have any way of knowing, would I?
You have 2 key senses at least, taste and smell. Oh, 3, hearing.
Oh, yes. 3 out of 5 ain't bad.
Could be worse. You could be dead.
Oh. Pour me another.
3 more rounds, please.
This goblin bartender's happy to be doing such business, and will keep the rum flowing as you wish.
I know what it is to be cut off from that which you desire. Do you have a name?
Yes, it is coming to me now. It is coming to me now. I am called Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin?
Is that with an I or a Y?
That is with an A-N. Kevan. Kevin, the explorer.
Kevin, I am Berwin, uh, the intercessor. This is, as I've mentioned before, Torum. And there is another in our company, Cassian. He seems to be away at the moment, squid fishing, I believe it was, last time I saw him. You are among fine men now.
So do you mean I'm just a eyeless head? An
Yes,
eyeless
yes,
talking head?
yes.
I'm afraid so.
Oh, yes. Or perhaps I am just part of your shared delusion. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe none of this is real.
So you're an existential drunk, are you?
Maybe this is all a trick.
Well, Torum, I believe our friend Kevin was looking for something in the way of a
Kevin,
brothel. Kevin was looking for something in the way of a brothel. Perhaps you would like to join us. Ease your spirits.
I think I will enjoy these spirits a little longer,
Very well then.
but do not let me delay you.
Stay safe then. And he'll get up and say, he'll just sort of ask one of the barmaids if they know where where they can have some fun at.
she'll tell you. Kevin says, I think I should be entitled to a discount. Don't you think, Bowen?
We can negotiate, but perhaps let's just take things one step at a time. This will be a new experience for all involved.
You know this could all be a delusion.
As you already said.
It could be you and your friends are trapped somewhere deep underground even now. And something is working on your minds.
Why would you say that, Kevin?
Just making conversation, Bowen.
It's a rather grim conversation, is it not?
These are rather grim circumstances. Cassian, Torum, and Berwin seem occupied for the evening. What are you doing?
I'm going to be looking for something I can do to get some money, I guess. If there's something that a taller person would be able to help with, I want to ingratiate myself here a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think as you are maybe just chatting up various peoples of Seeker's Rest and their stalls, Sundar comes and finds you and says, how are you liking it so far?
The atmosphere is quite a bit more pleasant than I expected.
Well, I fear I bring you something unpleasant.
Go ahead.
Grandmother Greenteeth has heard there is a follower of the old god of the forest here, and she wishes to discuss this with you.
You say that like it's ominous.
Well, Grandmother Greenteeth is the oldest thing in Seeker's Rest. She's not a goblin.
Fascinating. I will discuss with her then.
And He takes you a little ways off the salt market. You pass a few people kind of going up little rope bridges or stairs or whatever to get to their homes until you get to what is like essentially a little grotto. Lanterns are strung all over. And there's a little pool of captured water that presumably will go out into the greater marsh. And there's a little coracle there, big enough for one person. And there's an island on the other side of this little body of water. Sundar gives you a lantern and says, "She's waiting for you over there."
Well, my thanks for conveying her message.
And he says, "I'll be here."
He'll take off.
You can paddle over to this little island. It's quite dark at this point. There's moonlight shining through from the leaves above. For a time, you're not even maybe sure like what's here. It's very small. It's no bigger than it's like the size of I don't know, like a living room. It's very small. But then you hear something crawling out of the water on the other side of the island. You hear a sloshing as whatever this is hoists itself onto the little mound of land. You hear it crawling toward you. And as it enters your lamplight, you can see that it's a skeletal mermaid. The upper half is just like not quite bones. I mean, it is. It's like bone with little scraps of flesh over the bone. And the fish half is run through with holes and rot. And she has a kelp wig over her skull, which slides off, and she kind of has to adjust it.
Grandmother Greenteeth, I presume.
Yes, yes, yes.
My name is Cassian. I'm from Fort Dern.
Cassian of Fort Dern. I wish to speak to you of the old man of the forest.
I am familiar, yes.
I wish to tell you of his lies. I wish to disabuse you of the notion that he cares about you.
Oh, fear not, I do not presume him to care at all.
Yeah, good. Sit. She directs your attention to a little rock.
I'll sit.
She clambers, she crawls over into place. We shall begin now.
Begin.
And I think that's where we'll leave it for today. Let's go to Stars and Wishes.
Yeah, I'll go first. Stars, just super digging this village, this goblin village. Kind of glad we're not sort of falling into the like, sort of tired D&D trope of goblin bandits explode and want to destroy everything, and they're a nuisance. It's nice to have this sort of different perspective, and yeah, no, it's just kind of a weirdly wholesome episode in a lot of ways. Um, uh, love my new best friend, Kevin. Sure he's going to be great. Wish is to, of course, have him meet Alina and have them fall in love. Um, because why not? Um, Star to you, Rob, for playing out, for agreeing to the contest role, and then sort of the way that you carried that through the rest of your RP, the rest of the session, the kind of morose, angry, frustrated version of Torm that we don't really see that often. Thought it was an interesting dynamic and really fun to watch you play with that. And Kazian, just really into like seeing him in a state that isn't surly, with the whole squid fishing, and then like we sort of brought it back to his sort of like his I guess cautious state when he went to the temple or what have you, and is hanging out with this fierce fish woman. Um, but yeah, no, I just thought like there was something very wholesome about the whole like I'm going to stick around and watch and figure out how to squid fish. Like that was just again a different side, a different aspect that I thought was really fun. Um, Wishes, yeah, I mean, I want to see where this stuff with Kazian's relationship with the old one goes. I want to see more fallout from Lady Peril and Torum. Because I don't know if we memorialize that disappointment with a condition or anything like that, um, but yeah, I want to see how that plays out more. And yeah, curious to see what's waiting for us in the temple, or in uh, the actual, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's temple. I don't know. But yeah, just curious to see how this is all going to kind of wrap up, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. I love the opportunity to just punish Torum for his betrayal of Alina. I think it just kind of was a really rich possibility that he immediately loses this thing that it was worth sacrificing everything for. Um, so that was a great suggestion, and I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go, but I think it could lead in some interesting directions. It could also lead in some very short directions, given Torum is now sitting on 5 ruin and probably not concentrating too much on like actually looking for treasure or anything. Um, but yeah, that was really good. Really enjoying the vibes of this scenario, this incursion. Like I love a talking head. I love a skeletal mermaid. Those are great characters. I'm hoping that shrunken head sticks around. Like if Torum goes to 6 ruin, I'd be tempted to just
Play Kevin the
use him as
Explorer.
a play Kevin the Explorer, the disembodied head. Um, yeah, so I don't know, great stuff. Yeah, I I like where Cassian is going with this kind of he's found this connection to something that's been very mysterious and in the background about him for a very long time. So I'm I'm intrigued to see where that goes and what truths he's going to find out, much as Alina did about her, her great connection. Um, yeah, awesome session.
Not much I can say that hasn't been said. I'm really excited about uh, uh, Grandmother Greenteeth. That's I recognize that name from another incursion, and I'm interested in how that ties in.
Yeah, I think the
Uh,
Saturday group played this a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
yeah, long time ago. I'm really interested in Kevin, and when we get together, I'm going to be looking in that book I found about the heroes, see if he's in there. But this was a lot of fun. I like the vibe here. It's fun to be out of our usual kind of where we normally go. There aren't a lot of people that aren't trying to kill us, so this is fun, and I'm looking forward to finding out where Alina is and what's going on there. And I'm yeah, this will be interesting to see how it all evolves.
Yeah, that's my wish too. I'm curious how Alina fits in, or how we get Alina back in, or what is going on with Alina and her son. I think that's going to be really intriguing. Yeah, stars. I really enjoyed that whole bit with Torm in the beginning. I thought that was great. It was just so like, I really like just. I think like the best storytelling comes from like just not protecting your character, right? Just letting your character like go into like danger, like the obvious danger, and like
Right, a bad thing happening is where the story comes from, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So that was really terrific. I always love Seeker's Rest. I think it's a fantastic setting, and so it was really fun to kind of see your characters like kind of like initially tentatively kind of get involved in things, uh the interaction with Miss Rooter was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing the various goblins. And yeah, I also enjoyed playing Kevin. I'm excited to see what happens with that. If I don't know where it's going, but I don't know. I'll keep developing him as a character, I suppose. And yeah, just really, really good time all around. I don't think I have anything else.
Well, I can't sell him now.
I know, yeah.
I was looking for treasure and you gave me a whole new NPC, so now I can't sell him.
It's true. It's true. Fantastic. I don't think I have anything else. Any other stars and wishes? All right. Well, then I'm going to wave goodbye to folks watching the video.